Y'all gonna have to excuse the scenery behind me. It's a little different than you're used to. I'm in a prep room. I'm going through some boxes, double checking what's in the boxes, seeing if I'm short on anything, if I'm good on everything. Maybe some stuff I need to work through and get out of my boxes and put new back, like most of y'all should be doing right now, right? You don't just put your stuff in boxes and throw it back and forget about it. You got to go through it every now and then. So you've caught me in one of my prep room situations here. But today, Biden, right? He's dropping out. We heard he's dropping out. I found it strange that, you know, all of a sudden he got COVID after the assassination attempt failed. He come down with COVID and now he's dropping out. I made a poll on my community page asking if the assassination had been successful last Saturday, would Biden still have dropped out? Most people voted no, he'd still stay in. But now we're hearing Kamala Harris. All the news channels are pushing Kamala. You know, they're pushing the skin color, just to be clear with you. That's what they're pushing, you know, that we could have our first black female president. We're starting to hear a bunch of names getting dropped in here as, you know, Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Newsom. You're hearing all these names being dropped off. Now, Michelle Obama, you know, it's not set in stone that Kamala will be the nominee to run against Trump, right? It's not set in stone. They've got to figure out what they're going to do here. You know, they raised a lot of money for the Biden-Harris ticket. They're going to have to do something pretty quick because, you know, they got their, convention coming up in August, I believe. Well, we're also hearing, who remembers the assassination last week attempt? A lot of people remember it. You also got to remember someone died and others got injured during it, and Trump survived it. But do you remember how they kept pushing that the shooter was in a BlackRock commercial? When he was in school, he was filmed in a BlackRock commercial. They were putting links together, right? Doing all kind of stuff, trying to figure this guy out, what caused him to be this way. A lot of the YouTubers on here are you know, saying that, you know, he's linked to BlackRock, you know, that he's in that video, so something's got to be going on with it. Well, you also need to be aware that Trump wants Larry Fink to be the head of the Treasury Department. Some of you right now know who I'm talking about, some of you don't. Larry Fink is associated with BlackRock. Are y'all liking the show that's going on right now? I tell you that it's pro wrestling. You know, it's a soap opera on national TV is what it is in your daily life. You know, I told you I support Trump, but you also have to understand at the end of the day, it's about money. It's about money. I've told you Trump, he's not going to be able to do everything he tells us he's going to be able to do. And you understand that. If you have any common sense, you understand that. Because you can look back at his last term, a lot of stuff he promised he wasn't able to do, because just because the man says it, he can't do it, because you've got to get approval through Congress and all that, right? That's who makes the laws, and the president signs it into law. Well, are you seeing what's going on here? The smoke and mirror stuff, you know? All week we've heard about BlackRock, right? That they're this entity that's just, if you don't know who BlackRock is, go read up on them. You can find YouTube channels all over YouTube about them, right? I'm wondering how many people, if Trump gets elected and they put Larry Fink over the Treasury Department, how many of these YouTuber preppers, homesteaders, whatever you want to call us, right? Conspiracy theorists, whatever your choice is to call us, how many of them will jump ship and say, yeah, well, he's a good guy, he's the right man for the job? But meanwhile, you know, they're out here blasting BlackRock. You know, they're telling you that they're trying, you know, digital currency. They're going to take the world over. They're going to do this and do that, right? We're getting played every way we turn. I don't know how better to put it. I don't know. Most of you that watch my videos, I'm sure all of you that watch my videos, I should say, have common sense. That you can sit there and see this is just a big game to them, right? You know, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Each candidate, you know, if you've got, I've proved this before in my own state here of Alabama. Our Governor Ivy, she did something, everybody got mad at her, right? Well, they need to get Mama Ivy out of office. And then a couple weeks later, she did something that they liked. Well, she's the greatest governor we've ever had, right? It's whatever. They understand that politics, whether you want to admit it or not, is emotional. It's emotional to people. People get angry. People get sad. People get, just people cry. People laugh. They clap. All this stuff, right? And it's because they know how to play you, right? They know how to push the buttons that get you either agitated or get you behind them. Now, I'm not telling you not to go vote. I'm not saying none of that, but I want you to understand at the end of the day, when the doors close on all these politicians in a building, they're all on the same side. Trump was going to drain the swamp, right? We couldn't get the swamp drained last time. A lot of people saying he's going to come in and do it this time. He's going to drain it, right? Well, how are you going to drain the swamp if you're putting Mr. Fink into the Treasury Department? How are you going to be able to drain the swamp if you're putting the people that you want to get out, the corporate stuff and get it back about the American people, but yet you're wanting to appoint them into power positions, right? I don't know. I know personally I wouldn't ever want to run for president of the United States. Would you? I mean, seriously, would you? Number one, you're going to have all these people throwing money at you, and if you don't do what they tell you or what you like, you're gone, right? And a lot of people, the vice president picked with Trump. People forget what he said a couple years ago about Trump. Now it's okay, right? It's okay because he's jumped on the Trump train. It's okay. Now, I'm not saying people can't change. They can't change their minds about things or anything like that. But do you see the hypocrisy of all this? How badly we are being played. You and I are being played. I don't know what's going to happen between now and the election. I mean, surely Trump's going to win, right? There's no way Trump can lose. Look at how popular the man is. And then you sit back and you say, well, he was that popular last time. Somehow he lost. Now Biden's not in the race, right? So you look at it and be like, well, who do they want to put in there? Well, how can they play on your emotions? Female president. Yeah, a lot of people want to see a female president. Guys, it's got to the point where you need to be prepared to the best of your ability. I'm telling you, if you can only go out and afford, I know groceries are expensive. I know everything's damn expensive right now. But I mean, some of y'all know I dip Copenhagen. If I have to put back a can of Copenhagen to get a couple cans of beans or a pack of beans or something like that, I'm willing to do that. Most of y'all that watch these videos are, but you're going to have to get prepped up for this. Because either way this goes, it's going to go chaotic. If Trump wins, you're going to have the Democrats. We know how they like to show their disdain of a decision, right? We know how they are. The Republicans, people will say, well, you had January 6th. Well, if Kamala wins, or whoever they choose on the Democratic ticket, even with Trump being as popular as he is, you still need to think about, well, he could still lose. The man could get 80 million votes and still lose, right? It can happen. We've seen it before. What will the Republicans do if the Dems win? Democrats win, right? I don't know. My firm belief is if they had succeeded in the assassination attempt on Trump, I believe by now, you keep hearing this word Civil War. I'm going to jump off the subject. The Civil War. Civil War 2.0, America's going to go into Civil War. The reason you're hearing that is because of that movie that come out, Civil War, right? Any other time, it wouldn't be called a Civil War. It wouldn't. You're dissatisfied with the government, right? It would be called a revolution. But they're calling it a civil war to get you prepared for what's coming because they know what's coming. They know. What was we warned about over a year ago? Cyber attacks, right? Even Biden came on and told us we need to watch out for cyber attacks. What's happened this week after the attempted Trump assassination? Software update causes massive crash, right? Common sense, right? It's not a software update. It had to be a hack. Did y'all see the guy who's over that company when he was doing his interview? I mean, that man looked rough. He looked like he got caught in something, was trying to get his way out. He was choking, having to drink water, couldn't talk. Guys, the cyber attack around here affected us. Heck, yesterday, our local Walmart, the power started flickering, the computer started going crazy. Somebody had a video of the computer trying to download something into it. The self-checkout stations, which to me is a computer. Some of y'all will be like, it's not a computer, it's a monitor. But you know what I'm saying, it's on a computer system. We're seeing more and more of that. Right after Biden today announced that he wasn't going to run, here at our house, YouTube went out for, I don't know, a couple minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then it came back on. Now that could be because a lot of people jumped on, right? I'm not sure about that. But we're seeing more and more cyber attacks that we were warned about. You've got all this stuff you're getting bombarded with, right? Your Trump assassination, Biden's sick, Biden's incompetent, now Kamala's running, Russia, they're putting nukes in Cuba, Russia's putting nukes in Mexico, Israel, all that over there, right? You're getting bombarded every way you turn. The only thing, honestly, that you can do about it, you yourself can do about it, is to get prepared to the best of your ability. You need to get prepared. I'm not telling you it's going to happen tomorrow, but they are setting this up because they know what's coming. They're giving us warnings in a way, but not just coming out and telling us, right? But to get back on track, some of y'all hate it when I jump off track and ramble on a minute, but that's my thoughts on that. But you got people that'll jump ship, right? And when I say jump ship, I mean like Vance. You know, he was all against Trump, right? Because at that time the Democrats were more popular, right? But now he switched his mind. He's like, no, you know, Trump's right. We're going to go with Trump. I'm not saying it's not, can't happen, right? Look how many people who has talked bad about Vance in the past on YouTube is now like, well, if Trump likes him, I like him. He's an okay guy. I'm all for him. Right? If he's good enough for Trump, he's good enough for me. Is that how they're going to be with this Finch guy? BlackRock, the evil, dark, worshiping people, you know, that control everything, control wealth, and want you to go on the digital dollar, and, you know, want you not to own nothing, and you live 15-minute cities. Those people, will they jump on their side? Some of them will. Some of them will. Now, it's not a sure thing this man's going to get the head of the department, right? But that's one of Trump's people he wants to put in there. We live in some strange times. The assassination attempts and things like that, I wasn't alive in the 60s, but they have happened in our history, in our recent history. Heck, I was alive when Reagan got a shot. Guys, I think it's going to get really, really wild and crazy. I think the closer we get to election, possibly even worse with these hacks, right? That could get worse. In the election, I still don't think we're going to know who wins the election for days, weeks, maybe all the way up to the inauguration day, because no matter who wins, somebody's going to sue somebody, and it's going to go to court, and you're going to have all these states that's got to recount their votes or this and that, right? Trump, if Biden would have stayed in, everybody's going to say he'd have won. Landslide, right? He would have won probably every state except for maybe two. Maybe two he wouldn't have won. Then you also got to sit there and be like, well, somehow last time he didn't win. Right? Politics is not about you and I. It's not about the American people, what's best for me or best for you. It's about how much money can we make and share around here with our friends, right? The larger politics, heck, maybe even local governments like that in some places, but it's all smoke and mirrors, you know. Now there's, you know, like the Trump assassination attempt, we still don't know all the details on that. Nope. Starting here now, there's 2, 3 shooters, right? Who knows? We'll never know. Just like the Kennedy assassination, we'll never know that. Both Kennedys. Martin Luther King Jr., not even sure who shot him. I mean, if you read up on this stuff, the details we're given, the stories we're given, the facts that the government tells us, a couple years down the road, when you actually get a hold of the real facts, don't match up to the actual facts, right? So we're getting into some crazy times again here. We're getting into turmoil. You got all this threat of war. Now we're so daggum digitalized where everything's on your phone, your computers and things like that, that it doesn't take much to disrupt a whole society, right? Computer crashes, that's it. Well, I can't get my money out of the bank. Can't get on YouTube and see what's going on. Can't do nothing, right? Gas pumps don't even work. Can't use your card at the gas pumps, guys. We're at that point, and they're wanting you to go to the digital dollar. I've told you, we're already at the digital dollar. People just don't want to admit that we're at the digital dollar. How many people do you know right now that actually uses cash? Most of y'all that watch my videos probably like I do. I watch cash. I use cash. But the vast majority of individuals just use their card or pay with their phone, right? We're already at the digital dollar. Guys, read up on everything I'm telling you here. You know, I'll post a couple links down here so you can see what I'm saying is right about the BlackRock dude. Guys, buckle up and get prepared to the best of your ability. And if you got preps like me, go through them. They may be something there that you're like, well, I've got multiples of this, but I don't have backups to this, right? You may need to pick up something. Guys, always go through your preps. Y'all hear Omega? Somebody must be in the yard. He's going to break the door down to get them. But let me know your thoughts on this video, guys. Keep your head on the swivel. Be aware of your surroundings. Protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person who can do it. Stay safe. Keep prepping and go through your preps. Go through your preps while you can. Look and see if you need to add to something. Stay safe. Keep prepping.